Okay, today we discuss the align command. The align command is located under the modify panel within the home tab. In order to access it, we need to click the drop down arrow beside of the word modify, and we have now more modify commands to choose from. This is the align command. So here this works in both 3D and 2D. In order to get this dialog box, you need to just have your cursor sit on the command icon and just let it sit there, and after a few seconds this dialog box will appear. It gives you a lot of information here. In order to activate the align command, I can click the command icon, or I can come down to the command bar and type in the word align and then hit enter. And it's now active. This is a modify command, meaning I have to have something already drawn up to then be modified. So let's just randomly draw stuff. So I've just selected the rectangle command. I'm just going to draw some random rectangle. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually copy this. There it is. I'm going to rotate this. Okay, I want to go this way. Why not? And then, just for fun, I don't know, this guy right there. Okay, so we got these three shapes. So what I'm going to do now is I have something drawn up that can be modified. So I type in the word align. Now here in the command bar it tells me to select objects. What it's saying here is I want to select an object that I'm trying to align with another object. So I'll just select this one here because I want this rectangle to be aligned with this other unhighlighted rectangle. So once I've selected the object, I hit enter. And now it says specify first source point. A source point will be a point from the selected object. So I will select this point here. What I'm looking to do here is I want these two rectangles to be just vertical, creating one larger rectangle perhaps. So what I'll do here is I will click this point, and then once I've clicked that point, the command bar updates and now says specify first destination point, meaning where is it going? Where does my source point, where is that going to align to on the other object? So that'd be the destination point. So what I'm going to do, since I want them to be just straight up and down, I'm going to select that point right there. And then once I've selected the destination point, it wants me to specify a second source point. Now notice here, going back to our first source and destination points, a line appears between the two, meaning you can see the pathway from one point, my source point, to a destination point. Alright, so let's do that again here. Second source point. So remember, a source point is from the selected object. I'll just click the other endpoint and the other endpoint. Okay, again you can see that pathway from the source to destination point. In the command bar, it asks me to specify a third source point. Well, I don't need one. The pathway's clear. I know what's about to happen. And if you don't need a third point, I can hit enter. Now here, scale objects based on alignment points. So what it's saying here is if I say yes, it's saying I wish my source object, the object I originally selected, to be scaled to best fit the destination object. So it's not really going to matter in this case because both of the rectangles measure the same. Just to be safe though, I'll say yeah, that's fine. And what it does, it's actually going to orient the object. It's going to rotate the object and scale the object so that it's not only aligned, but it's also scaled and rotated to best fit. Cool, that looks nice. All right, so I just undid that with Control Z. I'm going to type it in again, align. This time I'm going to select the circle. I will hit enter because I've selected the object. Specify first source point. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select this quadrant, specify first destination point. I want it to be right here. So what my plan here is right here. You see how my mouse is jumping around first off? That's this grid snap is on, and if you don't want that on, you can just cut that off right here. Or you see I can hit F9 on the keyboard. And that lets me move my mouse a little smoother here without it snapping to every point on the grid. Alright, so back to what I was saying here. I want this circle to exist right here. That's my goal here. So I'm going to specify first destination point. Okay. And you can see that pathway is existing. This pathway. Specify second source point. Okay, right there. And then specify second destination point. Okay, I told you I wanted it here. And there is no third point. So I'm going to hit enter. There's no third point that I need to reference this circle to be aligned with this rectangle. So I hit enter, and I'm prompted with scaling my objects. Now here, if you just hit enter, let's do that real fast, because I got real eager, and I just hit enter a bunch of times. I bypassed the scale objects portion, which is not great, because now you can see what's happened here. Now this is the same result you would get if you said no to scaling objects. It's literally just going to move the source object to the destination object. Now here it cannot have this circular shape exist on this rectangular shape and be connected at both points. So it's just defaulted to my first source and destination point. So I'm going to back it up. Let's do it again. So again, you got to take your time with this stuff. Select objects. Okay, I've clicked my circle. I hit enter. We're going to do the exact same thing. This quadrant here is my first source point, and I want it to go here on this rectangle. My second source point is here, and I want it to go right there. And notice the grid snap has cut back on again, and it will do that with this command. So, you know, if you see it bounce, your cursor bouncing around like this, see, it's a lot more noticeable when I've zoomed in. You see it's kind of bouncing around. F9, or click that little icon down there. Okay, here there is no third source point, so hit enter. Objects, scale objects based on alignment points. Yes. Now here we have a little weird hiccup thing happen here because I had zoomed in, and then you saw when I zoomed back out the pathways here from source to destination points were gone. And then I scaled the object and I said yes to do that. Now the pathway lines are back. So I can type in regen all, and it should get rid of that, which it did there. Regen all just means regenerate everything on this, just regenerate all objects on the screen here. And it got rid of that. So in case you missed that, let's redo that, just because we did have a little hiccup with grid snap. So I'm going to type in the align command, select objects. I click the edge of my circle here in this case to highlight the object. I hit enter. I select my quadrant here to there, second quadrant to the second point. Hit enter because I don't need a third point. I will say yes to scaling the object, and boom, there it is. It's some random circle that's now just been aligned and moved and scaled all in one motion to another object I wish for it to be in line with. That's pretty much the align command. So just again, practice drawing. I mean, you take this example here. Just draw a rectangle of some random length and width, and a circle of some random length and width, and just come up to under modify, select the align icon, type the align, the word align, and then hit enter, and just follow the prompts on the command bar. So give that a try and let me know if there are any issues in the comments, and I will try to answer that. Good luck.